Hey everyone. 2 days ago I had an extraterrestrial contact experience where an extraterrestrial shared some information about the Pleiadean Prophecy with me and shared some other very interesting things with me. And I made a video about that as well 2 days ago, right after the experience. So I'll have that tagged below for anybody who hasn't seen it yet and is interested. In this video, what I want to explain is the information that I accumulated in this experience and a little bit more behind the scenes of this Pleiadean prophecy and certain mechanics to our reality. Now, before I get into that, I wanted to just say thank you to all my friends here because, well, this experience is pretty far out and intense to me. And I went out on a limb to share it with you guys on YouTube, and you were super supportive. And I really appreciated people sharing that they've had experiences of strange things happening. Some of you have heard the beeping too. I'll explain that in a second for those of you who missed the last video. And more than anything, you were really supportive in just believing me and holding space for me. And I wanted to let you guys know that I really appreciate that, and I will not betray that trust. So this being said, I'll go ahead and start sharing some of the stuff. So essentially, the things that I know for sure that this extraterrestrial, like legit, straight up communicated to me in this experience is that they said, I have a gift that's been passed down to me from the Pleiadians, and it was also shared with me that the Pleiadean prophecy is true, but that humans have completely colored it with their own kind of dirt, and that the real power and what's going on has been kind of misconstrued, and that people are confused about it right now and might be believing and thinking that certain things are supposed to be happening or going to happen that actually aren't. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. So firstly, the gift that's been passed down to me from the Pleiadians. This is not meaning that I have some kind of special gift that you don't and that no one else has. As a matter of fact, we all have the exact same ability that one might see as a superpower or a gift. The gift that's been passed down to me is the awareness of it, if that makes sense. So I don't have anything that you don't have. I've just been gifted with an awareness that I have it. And so that's the first thing that I want to share and talk about. It's kind of hard for me to say certain things because, like, I'm not trying to interfere with anybody's personal reality in ways that they might not want. But I think I just need to let that go and just be straight up with you guys. And like I said, if it doesn't resonate, you know, it's not like Nathan is the God of like all ultimate truth for everyone. Okay, this is just an experience. I'm living in a construct. I'm living in a construct that is actually me. Who I really am is the construct. And I'm experiencing a reality that is literally a story that has manifested from a certain energy. Now, this energy is my fears, it's my doubts, it's my pain, it's my traumas. This is what, in this density of our experience, which is what we could call this construct that we live in right now, you and me together, the construct is you. Everything that you're experiencing is you. And it's seeded and blossomed from our fears and doubts and things like this. Now, many of us can go around and say that Earth is a school where we are learning, you know, and we are gaining lessons and things. Now, I'm not going to argue with that. I see that reflected in my life too. And I think that if This is a construct that has blossomed from our fears, and that's the density of energy that is creating our experience, is kind of the lower energies. Then we do have an opportunity here to explore those stories and to, in a sense, transcend them or heal and learn from them. Move forward even though you're afraid, you know. Continue to learn from certain experiences that will continue being manifested from our traumas and things. Now, I think what I'm sharing right now isn't anything new. It isn't any kind of new information, like I'm the first person to say this. But there's something specific that is pretty intense that I'm trying to express. I am actually a Pleiadian. I'm existing in the Pleiadian reality, how we might say it, right now as a Pleiadian. I have the ability to essentially roll into what my human language can only express as timelines. I have the ability to roll into a separate timeline experience where I experience myself in different ways. But when I roll into another timeline, it doesn't mean that the other me that's experiencing myself as a Pleiadian or whatnot disappears. I'm in all places at once. The construct that is Nathan, the construct that is Nathan Lindsay, this is literally my experience. You're part of me. We are all Nathan Lindsay. That is the construct. Now, obviously, you can relate it to yourself. Now, we are literally hallucinating that we are individuals in this experience here, but we're not. We're not. When you zoom out and you achieve higher levels of awareness, which are all possible right now, even in this density of experience, you're literally able to see that you actually are everybody. You are all the people in the room. And we're literally playing out our lower level energies and digesting them in this experience. Now, the Pleiadean Prophecy is not that Pleiadian starseeds are coming to Earth to wake up and infiltrate the system and take it down and all this stuff. Now, it is, but this is colored from our own humans of there being some kind of battle or conflict. The truth is that there actually is zero conflict. There's not any kind of battle taking place. There is no good and evil. This really isn't happening. We're playing out our lower level energies, which reflect conflict in this dimension, is how we might put it. On this timeline of you being you, all the stories and everything happening around you are reflected of this lower level energy, essentially. That's just what the experience is. But there actually is no conflict. No one is against us, ever. Because it's really all you projecting your own fears, projecting your own traumas, projecting your own internal conflict, and experiencing it externally reflected to you. So the Pleiadians aren't coming here to help us to, solve some kind of external conflict. Because there is no external conflict. As a matter of fact, it could be better explained that you and I are absolutely insane and are wandering around in an insane asylum, hallucinating all kinds of stuff that's not happening. And that a Pleiadian has a higher awareness to realize that these things that we're hallucinating aren't actually happening. They're not. So the Pleiadians aren't coming here to help us solve some kind of conflict that's taking place on Earth. Not at all. Not at all. Because there is no conflict. The only conflict that we're experiencing is what we're projecting at each other because we're confused and have forgotten who we actually are. So I'm a Pleiadian that has rolled into this dimension and manifested myself as Nathan Lindsay. I've placed myself in this construct, is how, it's really not the right way to explain it, but I don't know how else to do it. I've placed myself in this construct. Now again, this is the same for you, okay? And again, we're the same, so I know it's confusing, but like, don't worry, it doesn't matter. Everything's good. You don't even have to understand, it's fine. I've placed myself in this dimension, not to go around and change anything for anybody, because that is literally taking the same energy of projecting my conflict at others. Thinking that somebody needs my help, thinking that I need to do something for them, thinking that there's something out there that I need to fix or change in any kind of way is the same exact hallucination and confusion. So I have not come here, and the Pleiadians are not manifesting themselves here in our reality. They're not doing this to solve anything for us. They're simply coming here, and what they have as this gift is nothing different from what you have, because all of us are the construct, every single one of us. What the Pleiadian might have that a lot of the humans might not have realized yet is the awareness that this is a construct, and the awareness that there actually is no conflict, and the awareness that this is a hallucination. That is the Pleiadean prophecy. Now, the reason that we're manifesting ourselves in this construct, again, is not to go around and change anybody or do any of that. We are simply here to hold a certain vibration that affects everyone in a very profound way that I'm not even going to attempt to explain, and that I honestly don't understand. It is extremely hard to understand, but something else that was shared with me is that I don't have to understand, and that the more I'm trying to understand it, the more I'm actually feeding into that same hallucination of projecting conflict into this construct and creating that reality. The more I'm trying to understand and define certain things, the more I'm trying to learn, for example, the more I think I understand, the more I'm actually projecting more conflict in a lot of ways that I'll continue manifesting myself in this experience over and over again in a loop that I'll not remember, but will feel, and keep projecting the same traumas lifetime after lifetime. The Pleiadians are simply here to realize early on in their life and remember very soon, a lot sooner than most, not because they're better, but simply because it's part of the prophecy and why they're coming here, to simply awaken that awareness and to stop feeding into that energy. And it's as simple as that. It's not about me going around and trying to tell anybody or change anything for anybody. It's just about me having that awareness within myself. Now, this is where it gets extremely confusing because, again, the construct is me. I am the construct. I am this whole experience, right? Literally, all of you, everybody's conflict, everybody's traumas, everybody's hallucinations, it is all me. Now, if I realize certain things within myself, and then I go out on the street and start preaching it to everybody, what I am doing is I'm adding to that energy of projecting at others and trying to change their reality or tell them that there is some kind of truth. Sorry about that, my camera battery died, so I'm using another now, but it's low. It's like this battery is a lot lower, so it's probably gonna die again, and then we'll have to take it to my van and wait to charge the batteries a bit. But anyways, another thing to share is that this, again, is not the right way to put it, but when you go to sleep at night, or even just in general, on different levels of you, because again, you are the whole construct, and you're also all of the other constructs. You are the entire Pleiadian dimension as well, okay? All of this is happening at the same time. It's fucking crazy. There's a part of you that is literally the manifester of the construct. Now, this is something that I've actually now experienced multiple times. And this is part of the gift that's been given to me by the Pleiadians. You are doing the same thing. The only difference is that I'm aware of it and I actually remember doing it. It's very hard to explain, but it's like I wake up in this aspect of myself that is literally, it's like all these nuts and bolts and gears and coding. It's hard to explain. It's trippy though. And I'm literally creating my next day, essentially. I'm creating like the whole next week of my life, the whole next month. I'm in there changing things. I'm constantly in this dimension, changing things around, moving little parts around, changing certain things of the experience, changing certain principles of the manifestation, constantly. Everything is always, always changing, and this is the dimension of me that is the manifestation of that. I'm constantly changing things around, constantly in this dimension. I'm shifting things, I'm changing certain things. I have infinite access to change literally anything about the construct. And I'm literally changing things for everybody else too, not just Nathan Lindsay. Because the me that I am is actually not even an identity. It's not even a me. It's not even a person. It is no single being. It is literally the energy that is projecting itself as everyone and everything. And it's insane. It's insane. I'll give you an example of a moment that this awareness woke in my life. I was walking with a group of my friends, Isaac, Des, and my friend James, and we were walking, and this was about a little bit less than a year ago. We were walking, and I actually wasn't Nathan. I was essentially an observer that was watching all of us walking as a group, as a unit. I was every single one of us. I was each of us, is how my experience literally was. I literally had the awareness that this was happening. Now, this is happening for each of my friends that I was walking with because we're all the exact same being experiencing itself. Again, the gift that has been given to me is the ability to be aware of these things. It's as simple as that. So we're walking, and I'm essentially having conversations with myself. We're each talking and having conversations and walking, and I'm literally the one in this awareness, not as Nathan, in the awareness, moving everybody's body and having all the conversations, like as like the puppet master, okay? And it was freaking crazy because, again, I was in this dimension. It's the same energy of being the creator of everything and changing things around and writing the story. It's like we're all part of this story on this stage, right? So I'm literally having this experience, and James is about to go left, right? Like I as James. And I simply rewrote the script real quick in a way that's impossible to explain and guided the energy to go right. And all of us turned right as a unit, and our legs were synchronized. We were all super synchronized. It was very strange. And James literally says out loud, again, as me, because I am James, he says, I just am getting the strangest feeling as if I'm being guided by some kind of force. Right after I changed the direction that James was going, so we all went the same way. And then the Nathan Lindsay character opens his mouth and looks straight at James and says, I too feel as if I'm being guided. Now here's the differentiation. It's not Nathan. It's not me. There is no me. There is no I. It's not me that has some kind of ability to like psychopathically is not the right word. It's not that I have the ability to change or telepathically like change everything or do all this stuff. It has nothing to do with me. I'm up here. That's the I am. That's the I am. Because the construct isn't real. The individual experience that we're having isn't real. It's like a theater, and we're legit playing out a whole bunch of lower level energies and playing out stories and themes that are based on our fears and traumas and things like this. Now, if you ask me, from this experience that I've had, enlightenment is extremely simple. It's an extremely simple thing to explain. It is not real. Enlightenment is not anything that is real, because for it to be real, you'd have to be your person identifying with being enlightened. Now, I'm not saying this on a technicality, like trying to intellectually explain it. What I'm trying to express is that you might see that an enlightened being is very simple. They are free from themselves. They are free from the story. That doesn't mean the story stops playing, because that's this construct. That's the experience. The energy keeps happening. The story keeps happening. The theater will always play. An enlightened being, an enlightened person, is simply aware and is free from it, and now has the ability to just watch the story taking place, rather than identifying with it and believing that everything is real and super, super important. Because it's just a hallucination. We are all living in a legit insane asylum, walking around, projecting all this conflict at each other, doing all this stuff. But the thing is that this is the Pleiadean Prophecy. Everything is perfect. There's nothing here that we need to fix. It's very simple. Everything's going great. What's waking up right now is awareness. That's it. We're not here to change anything. Nothing needs to be solved or overwritten. Everything's happening perfectly in the theater of life, in all the dimensions. All that's waking up right now is awareness. That's it. So that's what I wanted to explain. I also mentioned in the last video that what I've been describing is not astral traveling. So I was actually wrong about that. It is astral traveling, and astral travel is real and is a great way to put yourself in a state that extraterrestrial beings are having a much easier time of coming in and interacting with you. It's a much easier state for them to come in and interact because the density of energy is different. So it is astral travel. What I'm talking about in being able to change things and move things around, that is not astral travel. That is simply consciousness itself experiencing itself in every single thing in every way. And that is something that we all are doing, because we are all that same consciousness. I don't know why my person, as Nathan, my human vehicle, I don't know why my person sees from up here, in the sense that I do, as the Nathan, as the self. I honestly don't know. I really don't. I didn't really do anything. I like to say and jokingly say that it's because I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting it happen and watching it all play out, you know? But the point here is that I am special, but you are that same special. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether your human vehicle is aware of the things that are happening, rather that aren't happening. It doesn't matter, because we're all here and we're all in it together. And all the problems that we're experiencing are not actually real, and we're all projecting it at each other in a play, in a theater. We are all shouting at each other that it is you doing this to me, it is your fault. We are going to other places, we are raping, we are pillaging, we are projecting our rules, our beliefs, our understandings, everything that we know at each other. And that is the insanity of the insane asylum that we are in. In the moment that we all awake with the awareness within us, which is happening right now, it's happening for all of us. I know you guys feel it too. The moment we are all aware that we are absolutely insane and projecting at each other, that's the moment everyone will legit start laughing and realize that this is a huge cosmic joke and it's awesome. And we'll stop going around and attacking each other. Because why would you? When you have the awareness that the entire battle that you're witnessing right in front of you is not real, it's all inside of you, relatively speaking, right? Why would you go around? So that's you know, I'm just rambling at this point, but this is what I wanted to share with you guys. This is what the experience was. This is the information that's awakened. And, you know, I I think, again, I am special, but it's you that are special. You know what I'm saying? It's you. And I think that you're the reason that all of this is happening for me, if that makes sense. And I think that I'm the reason that it's happening for you. And I think that we are the reason that it's happening for each other. It's because we're all here we're here for each other. I don't know how to explain that part, but I love you guys. Thanks for listening to this super long video. There's definitely more to say. I've been doing a lot more astral traveling, so I think I'm going to make some more astral travel videos because it's pretty incredible. And yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to see or hear talked about more, because I realized this video was kind of just a stream of consciousness rambling, trying to express the experience, you can comment it and let me know below. And I'll keep coming back and referencing, and I'll try to make more videos and talk about this stuff. And I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you later.